everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs. I'm going to show you how to color this beautiful daffodil, or these beautiful daffodils, from the Daffodil Daydream stamp set. It has some coordinating dies, as you can see. No fussy cutting here. You're going to just use the dies. Now, this bundle has two ways to make a daffodil. The way we're going to do it right now, by coloring it, but there's also these dies where you can create a cardstock daffodil. I have a video showing you exactly how to do that. I know it can be a little overwhelming when you look at the dies, but make sure you go find my video showing you how to do that, because I've got some cheats and some suggestions that make it a little bit easier. Okay, let's start. Now, one thing I want to point out is that when I made this card, I made it in basic white, not realizing that the beautiful coordinating Daffodil Afternoon Designer Series paper doesn't use white. It uses Very Vanilla. So we're going to do it the right way. We're going to use Very Vanilla. Luckily, the black and white dots, or the black and vanilla dots, I don't think it's too bad, too obvious. So if you want to use basic white, I think you can. This gorgeous coordinating paper is only available through the end of February 2022. So make sure that you get your orders in. It is free with a $50 purchase. And you can buy anything you want. Even if you already have the Daffodil bundle, whatever you buy for every $50, you get something for free. And we all love free, don't we? Okay, well, let's get started. We're going to start by doing our stamping. And I have got a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock. And we're going to stamp both of these flowers in Memento Black. The reason I am using Memento is because I am coloring with Stampin' Blends. This is a water-based ink. Our Stampin' Blends are alcohol markers. So you don't want to use alcohol markers with an alcohol ink. All right. And we'll stamp that one right there. Now, while we're here and we have the ink pad open, let's stamp the sentiment. This stamp set has sentiments. As you can see, Easter blessings and Happy Mother's Day, but I wanted something different. So I looked through my stamps and I pulled out Prized Peony, and I'm using the So Sorry for Your Loss. Unfortunately, I've needed sympathy cards quite a bit lately. All right, now, one little tip I have for you. Stampin' Blends are great with Memento. I have no problems with using them together. However, there's one caveat to that. My yellows like to smear or pick up a little bit of that ink if I don't let it dry long enough. So the solution to that is let it dry for a good 10 minutes, or just grab your heat tool and really set that ink. The Old Olive isn't going to have that problem, but the Daffodil, actually the So Saffron, I'm not using Daffodil Delight today, I'm using So Saffron. The So Saffron does have that problem. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now, what I'm going to do first is take my light So Saffron, and I'm going to use the brush tip, which I don't normally do, but I've got quite a big area here to fill in, and I'm going to add some daffodil or So Saffron light, but I'm not going to go all the way to the edges. I'm leaving the edges a little bit white. I think I'm going to do all of them like that because I'm going to layer on several bits of color. All right, so I'm leaving those the very tips of these. I'm not coloring them. Okay, so now let's go in with our So Saffron dark. And where you see those lines, I'm going to add some color. I'm going to add some color at the bottom and inside right there, inside the flower. Anywhere where they might be overlapping, you want to add in some color like that. And right there in the middle, like that. All right, now again, I didn't go all the way to the end because I wanted it to look pretty light there on the ends. I'm going to give it a minute to set. We're going to see what that color looks like. We're going to see if we need to add some color. This time I'm going to go all the way to the ends. I'm going to show you a different option that you can do. All right, same thing, light and then some dark. I'm going to do dark down here. Wherever it would be in shadow, it would be dark. Then you can take your light and just kind of blend it all out. Then you can take your color lifter and go around those outside edges to create lighter parts of your petal. Okay, the color lifter really kind of lifts that color. I think we need to add a little more dark in there. I want to have pretty vibrant color there. Okay, now, let's see, a little bit more there. Let me use that other end. We have a bullet tip and we have a brush tip. And I really want the edges of this to be very light because that's where the sun is shining. So we want the edges to be light. All right, now let's do the stems and leaves. I'm going to take my light old olive and I'm going to color all of them. And then I'm going to go back and add in some shadow with the dark in a minute. Now this time I am using the bullet tip end of my Stampin' blend. I always feel like I have much better control here with this end of the marker, but you know, it's totally preference. You know, you gotta play around, see which way you like, because I know some people prefer the other end. All right, now I'm going to take the dark, and wherever, again, anything is overlapping, that's where you want to add in some of the dark. Underneath, inside, down here, it would be darker as well, like that. Okay, then let's take our light and kind of blend those two colors together. Add a little bit more right there. Well, I guess we need to come under here. This should be a little bit darker too. All right, now the next one. Get those all colored and we're almost there. A little bit of dark. There we go. All right, that looks pretty good. I think we are ready. All right, we're ready to cut these out. Now we have got matching dies for both of these. So no fussy cutting required. Let's get those. And then I really wanted this to look like a bouquet that was kind of tied together with string with maybe a little bit of a tag on it. So I went and looked through my dies and I found this one right here from the Pretty Pillow Box Dies is perfect. This die set is not in any of the current catalogs right now, but it's a carryover, so you will find it online. Whoa, goodness. Let's try that again. We don't want anything to go sideways. Okay. Lay that down and let's carefully run that through. All right, perfect. Now we're ready to put our card together. I have cut out a very vanilla stitched rectangle. And I'm going to do something I didn't do the first time around. I'm going to add some of these dots in So Saffron. This is just giving us a little bit of texture here, a little bit of interest behind our flowers. And then we will use our dimensionals, my favorite adhesive. And we're going to put the larger set here, kind of sitting over to the left. And then we'll take the smaller one, which is actually the largest flower, and do that kind of over. Let's see. I don't want to cover that up. Let's do it like that. I think that's a little bit different than I did originally. Well, how about like that? There we go. Okay, now another dimensional on your tag. Put that right there, and then grab your very vanilla baker's twine from our Essentials Baker's Twine pack. You have 5 basic colors in there, which include Fairy Vanilla and our basic white. We're going to use a glue dot to put that on right there. Now I wanted to add a little more distinction maybe in the colors. I wanted to add a little bold pop. So I'm going to take these black matte dots, and I'm going to add them on here. I've always been told you want to put your little embellishments like this in odd numbered groups of odd numbers. So we're going to do 5. I don't know why, but I've just heard that. There we go. Yep. Okay, we're going to leave it. All right. Now I have cut a piece of that beautiful Daffodil Afternoon Designer Series paper. Any of the patterns will work. I'm using kind of this black and white. It's not really polka dots. It's little crosses or X marks. And we're going to put this right in the middle. There you go. Beautiful. Now, I want you to look at the difference between the Very Vanilla and the basic white. It's very different. The white really kind of pops, and this is more subtle. So, you know, do whichever you like. I think the small Very Vanilla X's in here are so small that it looks fine with the basic white. But if you want to stick to the rules and stick to the color in the paper, use your Very Vanilla. All right, you guys, click the link here on YouTube. Go back to my blog. There is a free PDF. There's a free cheat sheet on how to use those dies, as well as 2 other Daffodil Delight projects. Not Daffodil Delight. I keep calling it that, Daffodil Daydream. You guys have been great. Thanks so much. Let me know if you have questions. Bye-bye.